So I will never go through that process to get my name changed, so I just deal with it. And it gets brought up. Once I was checking a bag, and the guy behind the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel. He was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. He was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point because, I mean, he can't handle that. I'm gonna call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? He goes, you should go home. That's all I got. He's like, I can't believe you've made it this far. I was like, let me just try it, you know? Shouldn't I try it? I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is going to help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, 170%, I think I'll get through it. And this is what he told me. This is honestly what he said. He goes, look, man, I get it, all right? He's trying to relate to me. And he was like, my name's Joseph. That's what's on my license. So I can't buy a ticket under my nickname Bart. They're not going to let me through. He said it like, right? Like, do you know what, does that make sense? And I was like, that doesn't at all. Those are 2 different names, all right? You should be over there and you should be over here because that's how you're treating me. Like I'm a Joseph Bart. Made it through. And on that trip, I was going to Seattle. And if you've ever been to Seattle, Mount Rainier is near Seattle. That's what they call it that. And I don't know if that's true, just so y'all. It felt like y'all took that like, yeah. So we were going out to Mount Rainier, and I was with a buddy of mine. And Mount Rainier is it's the 3rd biggest mountain in America. It's a good one to go to. I don't know who number 1 or number 2 is, but maybe one day it will be number 1, you know? Do mountains keep growing? I don't think we know that yet. It's a good time to see it. It doesn't have the attitude of a 1 or a 2. The final update. That's what this next. The special after this is going to be just just all updates. And it'll be something that you don't even know. You're like, remember my car didn't start? You're like, who is this update for? I like to drink iced coffee with milk. And thank you. I told a story. I went into a Starbucks inside a Target. I ordered iced coffee with milk, and the guy gave me milk with ice in it. I did not want milk with ice. I wanted iced coffee with milk, and he heard milk with ice. I have learned that a lot of people do drink milk with ice. People send me pictures all the time of adults just drinking milk with ice, and they stay in the Starbucks. They don't even like run to their car like, this is so embarrassing, I gotta stop doing it. Like they do it openly. My wife puts ice in our daughter's milk, and I was like, oh, you do that because of and she's not a big fan of my comedy, so she was like, I haven't seen it. I was like, we have Netflix, you know, and she's like, I don't think we do. I was like, I know we do. And she was like, I'm just so busy right now. So all of it's true, except my wife. My wife does like my comedy. She's very nice to me. But all the rest of it is true. And the truth of it, too, is it's happened to me 2 times. Twice. And let me tell you, 1 time is a lot of times. The second time, you start looking at yourself. You start thinking, you're like, what am I doing? I don't know if I know how to order. I would order it in a mirror to see what it looked. I was like, iced coffee with milk. I was just trying to see what they would see. I thought it was happening. There was a third time I thought it was happening. I was at a Starbucks at an airport, and she put the drink down, and I was like, they're doing this on purpose. I was convinced that they're just calling each other, like, let's drive this guy crazy. But she just put too much milk into it. It was an honest mistake. And she told me, because she set the drink down, and we're both just staring at it. And she just goes, that feels like a lot of milk, doesn't it? I was like, not as much as usual, but it does feel. So I've changed my drink up since then, and I honestly did it because I don't think I say milk good. I was having this one problem, and I was like, I'm just not gonna say milk. So now I drink iced coffee with cream. That's all I changed it to. I'm tired of saying milk. That's all, they kept giving me milk with ice. So I was like, I'm gonna say cream, you know? They can't do cream with ice, that's against the law. So I'll get rid of the one problem that I had. And I've only been drinking coffee for maybe 4 years, not very long. I only order this one little drink. I get very nervous when I order coffee because it's a whole world, and I don't know the world, you know? They always ask you a bunch of stuff. They're like, what kind of cream? I'm like, just please do it. Just do it. You know? Sometimes they're like, do you want heavy cream or half and half? And I'll go, I'm sorry, I'm not taking questions right now. So if you could just do whatever you think it is, and if it's wrong, I won't even tell you. How about I will walk out of here as if that's exactly what I ordered. I will go outside, I will throw it away, and go try again at a different Starbucks. That's how I'll handle the entire, that's why I think they have so many Starbucks, so you can just keep going. Someone's gotta get it. I have to get my wife's coffee. She has to text me what she wants, because I don't know how to pronounce, like, most of the words there. So I just phone her, because she wants this. And they're like, does she want it in Sweden? I'm like, guess we have to call her now, don't we? And I make them talk to her. I go, talk to a stranger's wife. Say what you said to me. Have you ever been to a Starbucks, like inside, like if you go inside and there's like a big long line and you'll be waiting and they try to take your order before you're even to the front? Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, oh, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you. Yeah, you know, did you see how everybody looked at me when you said that? I didn't care for that. So how about we do it like a regular, normal business, you know? And you let me do it right in front of you. Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street. Just be like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day. I took speech in college. I would ride there with my friend, going to a business class or something, whatever you go to. I was like, all right, I'll catch you after speech. And I still say a lot of words wrong. That's what I don't understand. I say poem, which no one ever knows. Poem, like, yeah, P-O-E-M, I go poem. We'll fix that, speech class. What if I want to be a poem writer? What if I have a lot of great poem ideas? And no one takes me serious because I'm like, listen to my poems. I say super southern one, oil. I don't even know how to say it, like how to y'all. Oil, O-I-L. Yeah. I go motor oil, like tin full. I mean, Southern Community College, that should be mandatory. Did they fix that? They should write O-I-L on the board. And I just go, oil. They go, all right, we're going to take care of that, all right? There's a pretty good chance you're going to be working with a lot of that. Recently, I was walking to my car, and I had a college kid come up, and he was raising money, for nature, or it was for Earth. It was nature and Earth. I don't know. He used real words, but it was, basically, I felt and he looked at me and he's like, it's going to Earth. And I was like, yeah, well, Earth is going through it right now. So he was telling me everything Earth is going through. It's pollution. He said our water's being poisoned. I said, not under my watch, but I understand. I remember I would fall out of a bunk bed. I slept in a bunk bed. I was on a bunk, and I would get over a railing and just fall 6 feet to the ground and just land. You don't catch yourself. It's just whatever hits first. All your body weight just lands on your head. I got a full-blown concussion. I'm crying. My parents are like, just go back to a deep sleep for 7 hours. I've had concussions in my life, and none of them because of sports. Just living life, man, Stuff happens to your head. What are you going to do? One was in high school. I got pushed into a wall head first. It took them 3 class periods to figure out I had a concussion. That's how much I was bringing to the table. 2 teachers didn't even notice. And the third one was like, he wasn't forward. And that's when I realized he's one of the better facer forwards I've ever had. So I knew. My biggest concussion was when I was 12 years old. I fell down. I grew up in Old Hickory, Tennessee, and we used to climb down this cliff into Old Hickory Lake, and we'd done it a ton of times. And so one day I slip and fall. So my friend that I'm with, he goes and gets my mom. They're fishing in a boat down in the lake, and so he sees me and he gets me into the boat. And he takes me over to some stairs, which he had to be like, why didn't he just use these stairs? They were right next to that cliff. It didn't even make sense. There was 2 guys at the bottom of the steps, and he goes, hey, this kid fell. Can you carry him up? So they carry me up, and my mom's in an ambulance in her pajamas. My dad, who I think everybody knows now is a magician, and he's doing a show in a full tuxedo. So when they get to the hospital, the doctor starts talking to my parents. My mom looks homeless. My dad's in a tuxedo. It looks like they're divorced and someone's not paying child support. So we have never known who was in the boat or the guys that carried me up those stairs. We've never known who it was. And we always wanted to thank them. Those guys truly saved my life. And we could just never find out who it was. So we've never known. So I tell you that to tell you, last year, my dad he's doing a show. He does these magic shows in prisons. So he's doing a show in a prison. And during the show, one of the inmates just stands up and says, I know your son, which is probably not the best place as a father to hear that. Just like, I know your boy. He keeps his mouth shut. He's good people. So my dad, he goes, hey, he's like, all right. He goes, how do you know my son? And he was one of the guys that carried me up those stairs that day. I promise, I was 12 years old, and we've never known who carried me up those stairs. And it was him and his brother. And then his brother saw me on The Tonight Show and was like, that's that kid that we carried up those stairs that day. So pretty crazy. And so since then, I've been actually bringing him out to shows. I'm bringing him out tonight. And no, he's not here. He's in prison. But yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Look, he would love to be here, trust me. Yeah, he'd kill to be here, to be honest. But there's one day I'll get him. I did find out why he was in prison, which was crazy. It was that same day. They just carried a body down those stairs. And you can imagine the frustration to then be handed another body. And you're like, dude, are you serious right now? Like, we just did this, man, All right, that part I made up. But the rest of it's true. My dad goes to the hospital all the time. He has surgery 8 times a year, probably. He loves it. He loves it. The doctor will go, look, you could just stretch. And he goes, let's just do the surgery. He had surgery because he was addicted to Afrin, the nose spray. Yeah. Look, I got addicted to Afrin as well. I would honestly tell you, if you don't know what it is, I would tell you not to get involved. It's one of the best things I've ever been part of. When I was on it too, my wife was furious. I had to try to hide it from her. She could hear it from 3 blocks away, just one little puff. What's that? I ain't gonna live like this. I ain't worked this hard not to do Afrin in my own home. So my dad, they go to the doctor, him and my mom. And the doctor was like, do you use Afrin? And my dad goes, no. And the doctor was like, I can tell that you use it. I was just saying that. So he goes, how long have you used it? And my dad said 5 years, which is a lie. And my mom is like, she's like, well, tell the truth. You know, she goes, he's used it for 45 years. He used Afrin 45 years. Just for reference, if you don't know, the back of the box suggests no more than 3 days. I mean, there's not a medicine on earth that tells you to give it a good 45-year run. Recently, I was walking in my car, and I had a college kid come up, and he was raising money, you know, for nature, or it was for Earth. It was nature and Earth. I don't know. He used real words, but it was, you know, basically, I felt he looked at me and he's like, it's going to Earth. And I was like, yeah, well, Earth is going through it right now. So he was telling me everything Earth is going through. It's, you know, it's pollution. He said our water's being poisoned. You know, I said, not under my watch, but I understand. A lot of kids, when you pack now, you got to be careful because a lot of kids have peanut allergies now. And our daughter actually has cashew allergy with tree nuts. And so I don't know what tree nuts are, but it could kill my daughter. The doctor just goes, can't have tree nuts, and that's it. He left. And I was like, we'd love to know. I don't know where nuts came from, but apparently they come from 2 different places. And one of them's a tree. I feel bad. I'm here. Look, I want to defend all these kids with peanut allergies. I don't think they get defended. They get yelled at by adults. We got a lot of adults addicted to peanuts in this country, and they're furious. I haven't had peanuts in forever. You could take peanuts out of my life. I don't think I would notice. And we just have adults are yelling at these children like they chose it. Like when they were born, the doctor goes, "Hey, do you want to be a nightmare to everybody?" Every scenario is life and death. You ever been on a plane? They just announce it. These planes just serve pretzels and be done with it. But they try every flight. If they can't, they just go, all right, everybody, can't have peanuts today because that loser kid right there. And these grown-ups are booing them. I mean, they're just, the only reason I'm on the flight is for the peanuts. I don't even know where it's going. I do my own laundry. Thanks. Thank you. I think that's what it deserves. My mom did my dad's laundry growing up, so I thought all wives do husbands' laundry. And I've always done my own. And to be honest, I felt it had been forgotten about over these past 17 years. The sacrifice I was making that other husbands didn't have to make. One day, I was like driving home, and it popped in my head, and I was like, all right, I'll bring that up. I mean, I didn't bring it up that day, you know. I was like, I'm sure there will be a time where we'll be in some fight, I'll be losing this fight, and then, I just come, I'm like, I do my own laundry. She's like, fight's over. You win, I forgot how good I got it. So I sit on it for like 6 months, like a long time. We finally get in a fight. I don't remember what the fight was about. Nothing. I don't know. It wasn't laundry. I remember that. So I'm losing this fight. And so in my head, I'm like, this is it. I mean, I was sad to see it go. That's how good I felt. I felt bad for her. I mean, I was like, she thinks she's winning. I'm about to drop a bomb on her right now. So just out of nowhere, I just go, I do my own laundry. And I said it like, they don't make them like this no more. I was shocked that it started a second fight I never saw coming. We do laundry very differently. She'll read the labels, I'll wash a rug and a suit together. I don't know. You want to put your shoes in there? Put your shoes. The washing machine's always a foot from the wall when I get done. It's like, that was a lot of stuff you put in there, you know? Like, yeah. And look, it's almost all wet. What you have to do, you have to mail your birth certificate in. Some moms give their children their birth certificates. I've never received mine. I thought I was the proof of my birth. And you gotta mail it in. I've never been a big mailing in guy. I've mailed maybe 4 letters my entire life. I've never done it. Stamps make me nervous because I don't know how many you're supposed to put on. Where they're gonna be like, you should put one more on. And they changed the price of stamps. Not in the news, you know. You don't find that out on Twitter. You have to find out from old people. They're the only people that know. They keep up with it. They're like, stamps went up. You're like, okay. All right. Is it $100? Like, they're furious. They're like, is it $100 a stamp? It's 3 more pennies. So I'm 41 years old. And when I turned 40 was the first age I did not want to turn. I remember parents turning 40, it just feels old. And it's also the age that you do realize everybody you're talking to, you are older than. Before you're 40, I think everybody you talk to is your age. And the reason when you turn 40, you're just older than that person. I'll just be talking to them like, remember that? It's like 97, 98. They go, I wasn't born yet. You're like, golly, are you serious, dude? In my eyes, we look the same. Where's your dad at? Let me talk to him, because I swear I thought you were my age. I just want to buy stuff and her not know I bought it. And that's so hard. I think if I knew the name of my bank, I could do it. But I gotta go through her to get that information. I poke around, I'm like, if I had a bank, what bank do you think I would go to? I also once a week walk into a bank. Hello, is my money in this bank? We take her out. We go do stuff. I would take her to Chuck E. Cheese all the time. You can go there. They had COVID in '84. So they can't even survive in there. That's what, I mean, Chuck E. Cheese is rough. I don't know if you've been there in a while. They look like they're trying to go out of business and they can't. They filed bankruptcy and they're still open. They called Blockbuster and they're like, you get out. We want out. They're updating nothing. That Chuck can is just robotic. I mean, the drummer doesn't even turn on. It just sits like that the whole time. They sell booze to parents now. They just give them buckets of Bud Light. They're drunk in a booth at 9 a.m. And someone drives those kids home. I don't see a bunch of Ubers and Lyfts showing up. There was a Chuck E. Cheese that got caught. If people didn't eat all their pizza, they would just put it back out on the buffet. And that would shut down any normal business. And with Chuck E. Cheese, they have thrived. I mean, when I read the story, I was like, I thought that's what they were doing. I thought we agreed that that's fine. I didn't even know what the article was about. So I was born in 1979. And the reason I say that, because if you are my age or just right around my age, very like maybe 78 to 80, you might realize, or maybe you don't know, I've never been called a millennial or Generation X. I've never even really heard any of those terms growing up. And now you hear them all the time. So I looked it up to try to see, I was like, what am I? And I'm technically nothing. I'm on a cusp. I'm a generation gap. And what we are called Zennials, or we're called the Oregon Trail generation, or we are called, my favorite name is the Lucky Ones. And it's true, we're very lucky. We actually grew up in two different worlds. When I was a kid, I grew up like it was the 50s. Like you would go out and your parents just didn't know where you were. We went to school and played Oregon Trail on a computer at school. No one had a computer at home. It's like, what are you, a zillionaire? Like, I mean, you could. But then in high school, I had AOL. You know, we had a computer at home. Then I got a beeper. And then I got a cell phone. I didn't have social media until I was 26 with MySpace. You know, I mean, social media, like, whatever I did in high school is a rumor. It can't ruin my life. So if you're around my age, you might realize, like, you just end up always kind of being in the middle. Like, I understand when a Gen Xer says something, you're like, I get it. And millennial says something, you're like, no, I get it. You always just feel in the middle. And these groups all hate each other. And the most I've ever felt where I was in the middle was just this one hotel that I stayed at. So a lot of hotels now, they have Chromecast, and you can watch, like, Netflix in your hotel room. So I get in my room, and I turn it on, and my Chromecast is not working. So I called down to the front desk, and the oldest voice I ever heard answered the phone. This guy was a Civil War survivor. I mean, he was the age where you just go, thank you for your service. And it's like, I was in the Army, you're like, probably, man. I mean, there's an age where, like, they all had to go at that age, so just say it. So I tell him, I go, hey, my Chromecast is not working. And I could have just made up a word. I mean, he's never heard of that. I could have said, Bob broke. I mean, he asked if I was staying at that hotel. That's how he goes, are you staying here? I was like, do you think I've called the front desk from a different hotel room? So he goes, look, I don't know what this is, but there's a younger guy here. Send him up. He'll be able to help you. And I was like, great. So that guy comes up, and he knocks on my door. I open it. He's my dad's age. And I mean, right when I see him, you're like, all right, dude, we don't have to do this. You know, I mean, I know you've heard of it, but you're not, if I can't fix it, you're not going to be able to fix it. But he's the generation that still wants to give it a try. So I got to let him in. So he's in, comes to my room, sits on my bed, a little too far back, I thought. I just remember, like, the back of his calves were touching the bed. And I was like, are your feet dangling? How far back are you going to go? Are you cold? You want some covers, man? He gets the remote and just starts pressing all the buttons. And I said, I don't know how to do it. And he goes, let's just keep trying it, though. I go, all right. I'm going to turn the shower on, open a window. Let's try everything. You know, let's just see. Maybe it turns on. Who knows? Maybe it's all connected. So we can't get it. And he goes, all right. He goes, there's a younger guy. He's about to come to work. At this point, I'm like, I'm the younger guy, man. I was like, it's all right, dude. I don't need it. And he goes, no, it's a millennial. I was like, all right, now we're getting somewhere, you know? This is what the millennial does. He was born with technology. He's going to fix this. I was excited. I was like, great. He goes, he comes to work in an hour. I go, wonderful. And let me tell you, you know how quick that millennial fixed it? Well, I'll never know because he just didn't come to work that night. So, didn't call in, nothing. And I found out because the old guy called me because he was supposed to fill in for him. He was furious, dude. He hates that millennial. He goes, he never comes to work. He doesn't take it serious. He's got a peanut allergy. And I was like, all right, well, I ended up fixing it myself because it was just unplugged. So that's my fault. We recycle, you know, and we recycle because of my wife. It's her, she gets all the credit for that. I would never recycle if I was by I don't do it if she's not looking at me. So I would never do it if I was alone. I looked up a list of like, all right, like what are you supposed to do for global warming as an individual? And it was a big, long list. But the first thing on the list was my favorite. It just said, just talk to your friends and family about it. Think about your friends and family. Like not the ones that are the good ones close. Think about how far out it goes. Just when you guys get together, like, do you mind if we talk about global warming for a little? I just thought this would be a good time to get into it. I had a great aunt and uncle fist fight each other at a wedding. Let me get in the middle of that. Any chance this fight was about global warming? Because I just would love to get that conversation rolling, you know? I get it. It's supposed to, for our kids and their kids, and we want to make sure they have a good earth and their environment and stuff. We don't want to have a bad earth. And we don't want them to be mad at us and yell at us. But I don't think they will, because I don't think we get mad. I don't ever see litter on the ground and call my grandmother and be like, where do you get off? You know? I don't know how you show your face anymore, all right? It's cloudy today. Is that because you smoked on planes? Probably. Why'd you have to smoke that high? Where do you think that smoke was going? We did stuff as a kid. I did Earth Day as a kid. I think they still do Earth Day. And we did it. I'm from Old Hickory, and we were a plant, like DuPont plant we were a plant town. So they had a plant, and we went and planted trees in front of the DuPont plant. And there was just black smoke coming out of this, like, and we're just in front of it, like, this is for Earth. And if you can't even see us, it's so dark. And we're just like, this is for the Earth of stuff, and we're going to breathe better. And you're like, I don't know if that's the problem. Here's what I'm doing for, you know, my daughter's future environment is what I decided to do. They say we won't have water. So I put a bunch of buckets outside to collect water. And when she turns 18 and she's like, do I get money? Like, something a little better than money. Bet you've always wondered what those buckets were doing outside. Well, they're all yours. And that's for your kids and their kids. Everybody gets a bucket of water. No. Look, guys, all seriousness, though, global warming, we gotta stop it. Or more of it. I don't really know which way we want to go, but it can't stay warmer. I know that. It's got to be one or, something's got to happen. Something can't stay where we're at. So go. I don't know what direction you want me to just go. Look, all seriousness. Let's use this as a platform for global guys. I felt like, as a spokesperson for all of Earth, all right? I think I'll give you a message that I don't think no one will give you, and I'm here to say that we're doing fine. So just relax. We're in a time where everybody yells at you and everybody's bad. We're doing great, all right? I did some research, and I was like, let me look at the other planets. Let's see how good they're doing. And it's unbelievable. They're nowhere right now. Some of them have too many moons. That's how stupid they are. And so let's calm down, all right? We're so much farther ahead. They haven't started, and we're almost done. So let's celebrate being first. Don't be sore winners. I have a daughter, and my daughter's name is Harper. So a lot of people ask, they're like, "Oh, did you name her after Harper Lee, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird?" And you know, I've never thought about an author a day in my life. So that never me. I mean, my middle name's Lee, and just never crossed my mind. I love having a kid. I love when kids cry. It's just innocent. I love how innocent it is. They cry over a tag in their shirt. And I mean, they're all just, they don't like, it feels weird. And then, I mean, if you walk, you're like, is your house on fire? Like, I've never seen someone cry this much. It's over nothing. She's on her iPad a lot. You know, that's the hard part. You got to get these kids off. Or you don't want technology all the time. She just sits there, iPad. She wants to be a YouTuber, which as a comedian makes me furious. She watches all these kid YouTube videos, and now she makes her own videos. It's just her sitting there going, "Hey guys, what's going on? Click the links below, subscribe, leave a comment." None of this is anywhere but my phone. I got 90 hours of this, not on YouTube. Me and him are the only subscribers. Just watches kids playing with toys, too. Like, that's what's crazy. It's not like a show. I'd be fine if she watched a show. She watches just a kid that's like, "Hey, you don't have this toy? I do. You want to see me open it?" It's got 5 billion views. It looks like we buy her nothing. Like, we just show her, if you want to watch a kid have fun, but you're never going to have fun in this house. So now we are basically at Mount Rainier. That was the whole car ride. And if you ever go, just so you know, you have to pay to go up it. It's not a free mountain. Someone bought it, and they're charging tickets. It's also all uphill. It's a nightmare. So be ready for those things. We drive up, we park, and we're walking up the trail. So went up it halfway. I mean, I can barely breathe. And this couple's coming down, so I stopped them. I was like, "Hey, is this enough where we're at? You know, is this like, you get it? Like, we're not trying to live on this mountain." And the lady goes, "I'm 75 years old," and I did it. And I was like, all right, maybe that's why you didn't hear the question that I asked. Everybody's pretty cocky on the way down. I mean, there was women with babies. They had 3-month-old babies strapped to their chest. I was like, why would you bring that much extra weight with you? I left my wallet in the car. They looked exhausted. I'm surprised they're not just babies left up there, and rangers have to come down. Whose baby's this? That's ours. We're going to let it grow up and come down on its own. My dad goes to the hospital all the time. I mean, he has surgery 8 times a year, probably. He loves it. He loves it. The doctor will go, "Look, you could just stretch." And he goes, "Let's just do the surgery." He had surgery because he was addicted to Afrin, the nose spray. Yeah. Look, I got addicted to Afrin as well. I would honestly tell you, if you don't know what it is, I would tell you not to get involved. It's one of the best things I've ever been part of. When I was on it, too, my wife was furious. I had to try to hide it from her. She could hear it from 3 blocks away, just one little puff. "What's that?" "I ain't gonna live like this. I ain't worked this hard not to do Afrin in my own home." So my dad, they go to the doctor, him and my mom. And the doctor was like, "Do you use Afrin?" And my dad goes, "No." And the doctor was like, "I can tell that you use it. I was just saying that." So he goes, "How long have you used it?" And my dad said 5 years, which is a lie. And my mom is like, she's like, "Well, tell the truth." You know, she goes, "He's used it for 45 years. He used Afrin 45 years. Just for reference, if you don't know, the back of the box suggests no more than 3 days. I mean, there's not a medicine on earth that tells you to give it a good 45-year run. Put 3 men in that room. 2 of those men will fight that orangutan. The other one would have started it going, I think y'all should fight that orangutan. So guys get in there, and they're like, all right, we'll go fight this orangutan. And the orangutan would just knock everybody out. Because we don't have the internet to look up how strong's an orangutan. It's all word of mouth back then. You had to meet a guy to just fought an orangutan. And you're like, but the arms are skinny. He's like, I know. That's what made me get in there as well. So PETA put a stop to that also. Yeah. Look, whatever you want to say about PETA, they did some real work in the 1900s. One of the first things they had to do, car manufacturers, before crash test dummies were invented, they would use a pig in a car wreck. So they sit a pig, I guess upright. And this little pigs are smart. Pretty good day for this pig. You gonna let me drive a car? Pretty good, pretty fun day. He's got his elbow out. Are y'all kidding me right now? You gonna let me drive this car? I don't even know what that shows you. Pigs don't have necks. That's what I was around when I was growing up. I mean, I look at my daughter and I have more in common with a pilgrim. And pilgrims believed in witches. My wife's always around too, I feel. Always like near, you know, especially about home. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm gonna paint the bathroom door while you're in there. I'm like, you couldn't do it later? And I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in, and that's when I was gonna start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, it just pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m., and I would bet my life a light would cut on, and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff. She put Life 360 on my phone. That's so they can treat you when they're not near you. You might not even know you have it on your phone. It's worse than what the government's doing. I would rather the government track me than her. She just calls me, why are you at Krispy Kreme donuts? I'm like, look, I'm not gonna live like this, all right? If I want donuts, I'm not gonna lock my phone in a gym locker and go pay cash for donuts. Done it, but I'm not gonna do it every time. God forbid I go to a store she has a coupon for. I mean, I'll be walking into the parking lot just to get a call, buy anything, I have a coupon. I'm like, do you think I'm gonna come home and get that coupon? Is things about to happen? I'm gonna try to pay more now that you called. I don't even know if Target allows that, but I'm gonna try to negotiate up on this toothpaste. You better hope they don't round up. I'm rounding up. I hate coupons so much, and she's addicted to them. She will not let me leave. Like, I got a coupon. I'm like, I just feel so stupid. I'm buying deodorant, and I'm like, I don't have all the money, but I'm almost there. But I do have this coupon. One day, I hope to be able to pay full price. We are saving up as much as we can. We've been traveling around like crazy, doing all these driving dates, and super fun. I like traveling. I love being on the road. I remember one time I was in Los Angeles, and I was going to South by Southwest in Austin, Texas the next day, and I had a really early flight. So I remember like the night before, I was like, just be normal and, you know, have a normal night. And ended up hanging out, become a bit of a problem. And I wake up the next day, and my flight is gone. I mean, I've missed it. And it's not like it's at the gate. It is in Austin, Texas. They are checking into their hotel. So I go to get my phone to get another flight. I've lost my phone. The night before, I lost it. So now I don't have my phone. So I have to go buy a ticket over the counter like it's the 50s. And when you walk up to a counter, they don't expect you to be buying a ticket like that. I got up there, and they were like, all right. And I was like, I would like one ticket to Austin, Texas, please. And they said, all right, go buy it, and don't be weird about it. I go, no, I'd like to write a check to you for one ticket to Austin, Texas. They didn't have a flight, so I have to do that at every terminal. I just have to keep going. One ticket to Austin, Texas, please. I finally found a flight, but the girl behind the counter, she's never sold a ticket like that. She's like, I've for 10 years that no one's ever done this. And she goes, I don't know how to do it. And she went back and got, probably the oldest lady I've ever seen. I think she's there for just this reason. And she came out, she had like that old credit card machine that you run. And she's like, I got it. This is super fun for me. It was weird to not have my phone. Everybody has their phone. I was going through the airport, and you just don't have it, and you just stare. We were waiting in line, and you're just like looking ahead, and people are just like, all right, dude, what is wrong with you? Just regular people, like, where's your phone? I'm like, I don't have it. I would like to talk to you, though. If you would talk to me, I'd love to chat for a little bit. I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to answer my 6-year-old's questions. She's like, why is the sun hot? I'm like, 'cause it's on fire. It's a stupid question. And I tell her that, all right, because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, you better do something. I'm like, I'm so tired of it. Let's do it. I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out, and then I'll do global warming, But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now, but once I get to the bottom of that, I'm going to do global warming, and I've got some pretty good ideas, Me and my wife, so I'm the dreamer of our group. I feel like in a marriage, you have one is a dreamer. Money's not real. Let's have fun. Let's go do fun stuff as much as we can. And the other person hates fun. And that's how you make a marriage. You can't have two dreamers. You're going to be homeless in an hour. Someone that just walks around, is fun happening? I'd like to put a stop to that. Are y'all having fun? Stop it. Is the air conditioner on? Turn it off. I married my dad, is who I married. My dad, who thought air conditioning cost $100,000 a day to run it. When we would be on car rides, I thought if you turned it on, your car exploded. Like just gas, you were out. We're out immediately. Did someone turn the air conditioner on? The best wedding I've ever been to was my cousin's wedding. It was a real redneck affair. It was right outside Louisville, Kentucky, where my parents are from. And my cousin's name is Tuesday, which is a good start. The invitation said, Tuesday's getting married, rehearsals Friday, wedding Saturday. People were like, we got to be there Monday for this wedding? How long is this wedding? It's a week? We get there, I'm wearing a button-down shirt, khaki pants, nothing crazy. I'm wildly overdressed. I look like I work there. Everybody else just has a football or basketball jersey on. My uncle, his daughters get married. He has his tuxedo jacket, pants, cummerbund, bow tie, no shirt. They forgot his shirt, and instead of waiting to go get it, he was like, let's do it without it, right? And he doesn't have a body that's like, that's cool, man. He has a body that you're like, put your jacket on backwards, flip it around. Yeah. And then you see his back, and you're like, whew, all right, go back the regular way. Yeah, that's my fault. How's your back worse than your front? We go into the church, bride and groom. Looks like it's home and away. That's how many jerseys are in there. Guys are drinking beers in the church. That's something I've never heard a pastor be like, guys, could we not drink alcohol in the church? And they're like, oh, didn't know this was the nice part of town. All right. The reception is next door, just at a lady's house, in her backyard. Like she doesn't do, it isn't, she's like, and I do receptions all the time. We were her one and only reception. So we walk over, they took a horse and buggy. The horse was the oldest horse I've ever seen. I thought it was a donkey. I thought they got a deal on a donkey. And the guy was like, this horse was in the Kentucky Derby. Like the first one that they did? Is that Secretariat's father? How old is this horse, man? You know they lay down, right? So we walked. It took them 45 minutes. They went up a driveway and back down the next driveway. They're sweating, almost divorced by the time they get there. The reception, like I said, it's in her backyard. They put plywood on the grass, like side by side, to make a dance floor. Dance just to a radio station on a boombox. Just like 104.5. You would have to stop for weather and traffic updates. There was a punch bowl that was low to the ground, like on a low table. And so I was giving it to kids. I was trying to help out. And then someone was like, that's wine. And I gave it to so many kids. I don't know anything about wine, but I don't think they tell you to pour it into a bowl. Like, that's not... No one's ever like, let's get out of that box, get in a bowl. You know, let's let it breathe a little bit. I got a couple 9-year-olds pretty loose that night. The end of the night comes, everybody's drunk, children, adults, it's across the board. A fight breaks out. We hear some of y'all fight. And I mean, you're sitting there, you got a 50-50 shot. It's not your side of the family. We get over there, it's 100% our side. It's my dad's aunt and an uncle, both rolling around on the ground. They're in their late 70s. He wanted to leave, she did not. So they thought, let's just handle it in front of everybody. He's on top of him, she punches him, he then punches her, and you're like, you can't do that, you know? So we gotta get him apart, and he starts fighting us, and he's a pretty good fighter, all right? He's punching women in public. You don't think he's handled some dudes in his lifetime? That ends the night. You know, you can't be like, all right, guys, let's calm. Let's cut the radio back on, find a good station. Tuesday is sadly divorced now. That did not work out. My dad's aunt and uncle, sadly, it did work out. They're still together. So that's our family. You know, we come, it's a pretty wild bunch. Me and my wife, I'm the dreamer of our group. You know, I feel like in a marriage, you have one is a dreamer, you know, money's not real. Let's have fun. Let's go do fun stuff as much as we can. And the other person hates fun. And that's how you make a marriage. You can't have two dreamers. You're going to be homeless in an hour. Someone that just walks around, is fun happening? I'd like to put a stop to that. Are y'all having fun? Stop it. Is the air conditioner on? Turn it off. I married my dad, is who I married. My dad who thought air conditioning cost $100,000 a day to run it. When we would be on car rides, I thought if you turned it on, your car exploded. Like just gas, you were out. We're out immediately. Did someone turn the air conditioner on? My wife was with me when I had that job. She's been with me way before where we're at right now. She was in it for the benefits I got at the water company. We've been married 17 years. Thank you. And I know, you know, the longer I'm married, the more I realize why she was put in my life. I would not be here if she was not in my life. I know all of this. Now, I've also become very reliant on her because of this. I don't know anything about me. Like, I don't know what I like and don't like to eat. I mean, someone be like, you want to try this? And I got to get her involved. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't know how long to microwave something. I have to ask her every time, as if her family invented the microwave. How long do we microwave this for? And she's like, do it till it's hot. It's like, but I know you know a number, you know? Just say the number. I'm either gonna call my mom or you're gonna tell me the number. If she doesn't tell me, I type in 90 minutes and I'll walk away. One of the best fights we got in, the fight wasn't good, just ridiculous fight, was over the saying one fell swoop. Just over that saying. My wife and I, hold on, because this is the last one. I just hear one in the background. Because you hear it from a far distance. And then it's like, he's going that way. Sound like he's going the other way, right? All right. Or like, we don't even hear it, and I'm just up here. Haunts me for the rest of my life. Every show, we're back and doing theaters, and I'm like, is that a helicopter? Do you guys hear a helicopter? Like, inside the building? I'm like, yeah, do you hear it? Does everybody hear it? Everybody get down. Everybody quiet down. Is that a helicopter in this? All right. So we got in the fight, phrase one fell swoop. Just over this saying. And if you're a newlywed, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You're right, it doesn't. This is a double-digit married fight. This is when you've already done all the dish fighting or the putting your clothes away fighting. This is when they're trying to mentally break you. They got you almost how they want you, and this is the one that sends it over the edge. So my wife, she wanted to go visit her parents one weekend, and her parents are divorced, and which has been hardest on me, to be honest. That's something people don't talk about, you know? When you marry into divorce, I mean, they divorced because of her, not me, so why do I have to go to 50 different houses? So she wanted to visit her parents, and she said, I want to do it in one fell swoop. Now, I've never heard my wife say the phrase one fell swoop. We've been together 20 years. She's never said it. And it felt like someone that day told her, hey, you should start using one fell swoop more. And she goes, I'm about to call my husband. And goes, perfect. Use it 40 to 50 times on him. So she calls me, and she goes, I want to go visit my parents, and I want to do it in one fell swoop. And I go, all right, let's do it in one fell swoop. She goes, I want to do it in one fell swoop. I go, do it in one fell swoop, you know? Let's swoop it up. I'm down. And she kept saying it, one fell swoop, one fell swoop. I mean, over and over again. And then when she went to describe this one fell swoop trip, she goes, we'll go to my mom's, come home, then go to my dad's. And so I just like waited, and she didn't say anything, and I just go, that's not what one fell swoop means. Instead of possibly just being wrong, she goes, I know what fell swoop means. I go, yeah, it doesn't sound like you do, all right? And we have the same last name. I can't have you out there in a one fell swoop conversation. What do you think two birds, one stone mean? Let's just go through them all. I don't know if you know any of these. She hangs up on me. So I get home, and you know when you walk home and you've been in a fight, and you're like, all right, how long is this fight? Is it happening still? Is it over? I don't know. I got to fill it out, you know? She never uses words like sorry. I'd love to hear that. I mean, that's a word she definitely doesn't know what it means. And I say it all the time. I walk around the house with just a sack of just handing them out all day. I try to give her some, like, would you like to carry some of these? She's like, I don't have pockets, so I'm good. We didn't talk that whole night. I mean, we're just sitting there, our daughters, like, we're watching TV, eating, and I'm like, hey, you know your mom's crazy, right? And then she's like, did you do your homework, or you don't want to be dumb like your dad? And then your daughter's just like, are y'all lunatics? So I'm laying on the couch, and my wife she kisses me goodnight, and then she went to bed. And that was it, you know? That was like, I felt like it was her sorry, I guess. But she didn't say it. And so I laid there, and I'm just thinking about it. And you think about it a lot because you're like, all right. Because you learn the longer you get married, sometimes it's like, just let stuff go. You know, who cares? The next morning, I get up, and I kind of still wanted to talk about it. We didn't talk all night, you know? So I went into her. I was like, look, I got to tell you, I mean, it's just not what it means, you know? And that got it going real good. But I'm so good about this argument, you know? I thought about it all night. I was like, you got this one in the bag, man. You should bring it up. I'm not trying to date her anymore. I'd like to win a fight. We're going to die together. I almost woke her up in her sleep. That's how much I was so excited. I almost just started shaking her going, it's not what it means. Our marriage almost ended in one fell swoop. So she's the cheaper one of us as well. Not in a bad way, you know. She likes the lights being off. Turn the lights off, you know. Save money. Get the little lights off. It's a fun time being in that environment. Turn the light on, find your seat, get a stick, knock the light back off. Sit in the dark and be sad. And you're sad all day. You're saving nickels upon nickels. Right when I get in bed, you turn that light off? I can't tell that's on. Well, get out of bed, turn it off. 80 years, we'll give our daughter $37 from all the nickels we saved. When I first started going on the road, I would have to do a wake-up call. That's how I got up in the morning. I'd have to call a guy I don't know and just be like, will you wake me up tomorrow? That's the last person I would talk to, is him. I would call my wife, then a man I've never seen. You promise you gonna wake me up tomorrow? We would tell each other good night. So no one's done a wake-up call in probably 20 years now. So there's a guy on the road with us. He's 24 years old. He's never done a wake-up call in his life. And so we were staying at a hotel, and he saw a wake-up call on the phone. And he goes, I'm gonna do a wake-up call. And I told him, I go, don't do it. That's like an ashtray on an airplane. But he was like, no, I wanna do it. All right, so he set it up. Next morning, his phone rings. He doesn't answer the phone. He doesn't know that's the main part of your job. You gotta answer the phone and let the guy know you're awake. So then that guy, who's young too probably, is like, I guess I gotta go knock on the door. I've never even seen this service used, so it must be the most important person alive. So he goes up and he starts knocking on the door. But he still doesn't answer the door. The guy goes in the room. I swear this is real. Because look, there's two young people, they don't know what they're doing. So he goes in the room like, do I have to touch this guy? Is that what a wake-up call is? I gotta touch a guy I've never seen in the dark. So I'd imagine he started making noises, just hip, hip now, hip, 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 hip. Hoping he doesn't have to touch this man. But he had to touch him, I swear. That's when he woke up to another guy going, hey buddy. It's time to wake up. I don't think things through. That's the message tonight, guys. There's no message. But if there was, it's I don't think things through. No. I'm a huge Vanderbilt fan, and I think a couple of us, it's a storm is coming together. I did not go to Vanderbilt too. Vanderbilt asked me to say that, and I was like, I think people know, and they go, we do too, but just say it also. Vanderbilt went to their first bowl game in football in like 20 years, in 2008. And so we all go to it. We're very excited. It's at Tennessee Titans Stadium. So me and a bunch of buddies get together. We go tailgate. We get cornhole, a grill. Like we're going all out. And my ticket was at will call. So I was like, look, I gotta go get my ticket. I'll be right back. So I go get my ticket. And before the lady gives it to me, she ripped it, which means you have to go in. And it was, a full 3 hours before the game starts. I was like, I don't want to go in yet, And she's like, you have to go. And I just walked in to just an empty stadium, 60,000 empty seats. I go to my seat. I don't even just go to I went to like the one I'm supposed to go to, like a loser. The players are like in jeans. They're not even dressed yet. I was like, I'm real excited for the game. I like startled them. They're like, oh, I didn't even know anybody was in here. Did you go to Vandy? I was like, you would think with how early I'm here. But I also think if I went to Vandy, I wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in. I walked to the top of the stadium and just watched my friends tell. I just set up at the very top. And I was like, I'm already in, guys. Yeah, I decided to save our numbered seats. Nothing was open. I stood in front of a concession stand like I was waiting for an iPhone to come out. Just that gate was down. I'm just like already trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat. And they came and opened it, and one side got stuck, and I helped them. I go, I'll get that. So I helped them open it. They're like, oh, do you work here? I was like, I've been here a little bit longer than you have. So we've been married 12 years, and our wedding, it was not good. This is not my fault. This was my mom and my wife planned the wedding, and they're both cheap. So they cut corners. If we hire someone to do something at our house, I promise he does not do that job full time. He'll be fixing our dishwasher, and we're like, do you paint houses? And he's like, yeah, I probably could paint houses, you know? His business card says, how hard could it be, right? Can't be that hard. We got married on Friday the 13th. Got a pretty sweet deal on that. They were wide open. We were like, what times are available? They go, every one of them, all 24. You can call us that day if you want. Her brother married us. That was free. The photographer was just a buddy of ours that had he just bought a new camera. So we were like, you gonna do our wedding? Never done anything professionally, and it showed. His camera stopped working during it, and he started taking stuff out of it. Like, that would be the it's like, yeah, you know what? I bet they put too much stuff inside of it when they built it. You should yank some of those wires. That's not supposed to be in there like that. Our DJ was awful, and that's because we got my mom to hire the DJ. I don't know who thinks to ask someone in their 50s for DJ recommendations. No one ever is like, Mom, are you in with the local DJ scene by any chance? She hired someone older than her. He just had CDs, and this was when computers were doing real good. He got super drunk, played the same song 3 times in a row. White Wedding, which he said was by Billy Joel. He only had one leg, seriously, and that's fine, you know, no one cares. Until he starts messing up, and then you're like, why does he have one leg? I took speech in college. I would ride there with my friend, going to a business class or something, whatever you go to. I was like, all right, I'll catch you after speech. And I still say a lot of words wrong. That's what I don't understand. I say poem, which no one ever knows. Poem, P-O-E-M, I go poem. We'll fix that, speech class. What if I want to be a poem writer? What if I have a lot of great poem ideas? And no one takes me serious because I'm like, listen to my poems. I say super southern one, oil. I don't even know how to say it, like how to y'all. Oil, O-I-L. Yeah. I go motor oil, like tin full. I mean, Southern Community College, that should be mandatory. Did they fix that? They should write OIL on the board. And I just go, oil. They go, all right, we're going to take care of that, all right? There's a pretty good chance you're going to be working with a lot of that. I had a hard time in school. When I barely graduated, got into a community college, barely got into a college they have to let everybody in.